G'day. About 18 minutes ago, a bloke named Hach, H-A-C-H, asked me to talk about partial hair systems for the posterior, the vertex. I think we call that the crown. That's this bit here you're talking about, right? I have a little bit of a problem with that as well. It's not too bad yet. So the thing is, that's easy. As far as I can tell, any of these hair pieces in any of these boxes, you can just cut any little circle of it. And I mean, I know when you buy a hair piece, generally to begin with, it comes brushed forwards and then all to the sides. I'm talking about a stock piece. You could buy any stock piece and chop it pretty much anywhere, and I'm pretty confident that the roots won't matter that much because you're never going to see a frontal hairline sort of thing. You can just cut a circle out, right, and just plonk it on whatever shape you're missing your hair back here. Now, I would assume, just like I have to do with baby hairs, you've got to have a nice clean area to attach it to. But yeah, so that might mean you have to shave hairs that are still growing around that zone so you can have a nice surface, and then create a stencil which you would cut out of a piece of plastic from your recycling bin. My stencil was made from a takeaway container lid. Look, see, I've cut all these hair pieces from my front area. That's my front partial. So my stencil that I traced out looks like that. Yours would be probably round for the crown area. Then instead of cutting out a shape like this, you would cut out whatever shape your stencil is, and you would have to stick it to the back of your own head. Now, given that your eyes can't bend around that far to see exactly where you're placing it, my idea for seeing the back of your own head is to get a 7-foot tripod for about $80 that holds, for example, a phone, and then Wi-Fi connect that to an iPad or something, or a laptop even here in front of you, so you have a nice vision. When I talk about a phone, I just mean a camera, right? Any camera that can Wi-Fi beam directly to an iPad that's here. Could be on there, and then just redirect it so you can see your own hair when you're doing your hair, and then you can see the back of your own head from that tripod. I tried fixing some kind of tripod that came down from the ceiling as a double mirror system. Never worked, it was too heavy and all sorts of stuff. Mirrors that are for the shower are not made out of glass, they're plastic. They work better in terms of being light and not dangerous. So you could use something that light and reflect that, but you need two hands to put your hairpiece on, one to sort of hold your hair out of the way, and the rest to glue it, and then two hands to hold it and position it nicely like that. So you cut out a circle, crown area, vertex posterior, you stick it there. You don't want overhang, but in your situation, any people who just want a tarantula, which is basically what a round one looks like, it's probably the easiest problem to have. You want to do, you personally, Hach, you want to put hair transplant stuff around the front third and then deal with this with a piece. I would have thought that if you're going to get a hair transplant, this area would be the zone where nobody can see what's going on anyway, properly. Maybe you should just start the transplant in this area, because this is the visible area to everybody who's watching you. You could look at that from the transplant and see if it worked well. This area here is highly visible to everybody. But yeah, if you just want to fill in that vertex, that crown area with a tarantula, just cut out anywhere. I mean, I know the hairs are brushed this way and that way and so on, and this area in the middle is sort of stitched in all directions. So ideally that perfect stemming out in all directions would go exactly where your hair sort of changes directions back there. But I get the feeling that you could sort of brush the hairs in any direction at that point. Now, having said that, I think brushability of hairpiece hairs, given that they're V-looped in or tied in to lace or poly, they're the two types of bases we use. I keep saying don't want to cut it shorter than 1.5 inches, because otherwise you can't brush it, it'll stick up, right? All rigid and stuff. So if you want to keep it, if your hairstyle can be 1.5 inches minimum in length, then cut out those circles all over any kind of stock hairpiece you can buy from anyone. And given that you don't really see the roots very much back here, so long as your hair color matches, I think it would be fine. It sounds really easy, except for the not being able to see back there. And just be careful, of course, when you're shaving that zone. I just thought of something else. Just be careful when you're shaving that zone, it matches. You don't grow the zone when you shave and so on. You'll have to do it by sort of, like I said, camera back here, screen over here, and then getting used to the shaving around that area. Right to the skin, not just one of these. I'm talking about a razor, right? So you have to get right close. So there are two types of razor blade that I've got here in my bathroom. One's this one, and the other one is can't find it. Anyway, the thickness on this outer edge here, it was too wide. See where that white bit of vertical plastic is? It was double that thickness or something, so I couldn't get right up to the edge. It's better to get thinner ones. The more expensive ones that I've seen tend to have a thicker one, which is not good. You're just as happy getting cheap ones that will allow you to get right up to those edges so you can get more accuracy. But what I just did think of is, in your situation, the perimeter that I keep talking about in my videos is where the hair meets the hairpiece. Your natural hair meets your hairpiece. The blending is better with lace for those, because when plastic gets wet or whatever else, or it's shiny or whatever, it potentially shows up against the hairs too much. So unless you're really accurate, and you don't want to have to be that accurate. So potentially get lace. French lace, medium density, will probably match you. Guess your hair color, spend $200. Buy one, test it out. Well, you can use LordHair coupon code if you want, LordHair.com, and then use my coupon code. Just get the cheapest French lace piece you can buy, just chop it up with the stencil that matches you. If you don't want to shave your head in that area yet, use tape, don't use glue. Just put some self-adhesive tape on the back of that lace and just stick it down. It's not going to look good with the tape, but at least you can try it out, look in the mirror and realize, yeah, I do want to go ahead and shave that area, and then put proper glue down there and do it properly. But I really don't know how to stop you from spilling glue into your hairs, right? Now in that situation, given that I always use acrylic glue like Ultra Tape, Ultra Hold, this doesn't wash out a hair very well, okay? All right? It's not water-based. Now for your situation, I would say potentially you want to be using water-based glue, potentially Ghost Bond or some crappy glue like that, because there's no tugging or anything back here. It's kind of safe. It's in a safe zone. So I think maybe that's the best shot. Buy Ghost Bond glue. I don't know, most people say Ghost Bond Platinum. There are about 5 different flavors you can buy. Ghost Bond Platinum water-based glue from hairdirect.com. I don't know how much it is. $30. I don't know. Maybe eBay, whatever. The other one is, LordHair.com. The reason I recommend that is because I've already got a 20% 20% off voucher. So instead of paying $200, although with your first purchase, you might be entitled to a $20 off. Yeah. You wouldn't want to waste my voucher on that. But then, you use their introductory first offer, right? $20 off thing if you're a first time user. But then if you want to get a bigger purchase and buy more hair, the first time you ever used my voucher, stick on hair voucher on the coupon code section, so you get 20% off. You buy more, because then you get 20% off, and you can only use it once. So if you spend $1,000, you'll get $100 off. Oh, sorry, $200 off. Whereas if you spend $200, you only get $20 off. See? So don't waste that coupon code. Stick on hair. Yeah. Just cut those circles out. How are you going to measure that? You just basically take a piece of string, hold it, put it against a ruler, cut that piece of plastic square, place that down, keep looking in the camera freaking screen thing, and then just try to draw around it. The other thing you could do is put one of those sandwich plastic bags that are completely see-through over there and just try to trace around it. Then place that under plastic and then trace around that. Actually, I've got this little series of 8 videos. It's a playlist called Unbald Now or something. UNBALD space NOW. That takes you through all the steps that you kind of have to do from buying hair to having a finished product. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question about, I think you're talking about posterior vertex equals crown tarantula. Tarantula is a type of spider. I assume you're German with an ACH ending on your name. I don't know. Because of Bach. Don't even know if it's Bach. Sorry. Anyway, there you go. Hope that answers your questions. This is the fastest turnaround for a video I've ever had. I saw your comment 5 minutes ago. I thought, oh, hold on now. Yeah, just smoke some weed. Very happy to have that. And put me in a generous mood. You're welcome.